Welcome back to Pink Oddbird. Today what I'm here with is a little book share, and this is going to be called Frankenstein because I have made this in the fashion of thinking maybe this is Frankenstein's notebook where he does all of his brainstorming. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. All right, so this book is about 9 by 6 and the spine is somewhere in the 2.5 inch range. For the first time ever, I did ridges on the spine and I love it. It's so amazing. I followed Gypsy Rose Papery tutorial on how to do this. I will link to that tutorial in the description box below. So thanks for that tutorial, Dolly. This fabric is amazing. It feels like a suede sort of leather and it reminds me like of the perfect feeling vintagey old-timey book. The closure is just doubled up sari silk, and on the front cover I just have a little wood piece that says inspire because I feel like this might be a place of inspiration for Frankenstein when he comes in to write his notes and think, ideas and things that he's thinking of. So just here in between each signature there are 3 signatures in this book, and there's around I'll put it on the screen. One of the first charms is this little clock, which I thought was pretty neat. And then I have a little key here, and then I have a little Tim Holtz tag here that says altered for the obvious reasons. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the inside. So the person who's getting this book is a journaler. So I did want to keep that in mind and try and keep this book as, writer friendly as possible. On the inside cover here, I have some more super soft fabric. It's like a really soft, I don't know what it is, but then I outline that with some goldish trim that I have. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. So I'm just gonna go ahead and flip through. In this book, there are no digital, or there's a little bit of Tsunami Rose, but most of the ephemera in this book is from actual vintage ephemera, particularly medical ephemera. Out of my own stash. So here, this is just one piece. It was a little article from a medical book that I had gotten, and this was someone's newspaper clipping that they put in. And there's a couple of these in, but that one's talking about lockjaw, and there's just a little tuck spot here. Of course, there's going to be little dibble dabbles of blood here and there because he's researching and he's doing, all of his things, and he's touching the book here and there as he goes. There are some medical or anatomical, I should say, stamps in this book as well, and mostly everything in here is coffee stained. So some more blood, and you can see that beautiful staining. I have a lot of anatomy book pages in here, Mary Shelley, and I just backed her on some cardstock. I guess this is technically considered a digital. I found some letters from the 1800s, and letters were an integral part of the 1800s. So this is a letter from I think 1861. So it's obviously a scan of that. But I put these in because, there was a lot of letter writing going on in his day. I made some of these tags, and they're backed on black cardstock. You can write on the back of those with gel pen, and so I've just layered on some little writing spaces and some anatomy pieces, and then of course some medical information that he might need to know. And then Dolly had sent me some beautiful beaker sciencey kind of stamps, and it was just perfect timing for her to gift me those, so thank you for those, Dolly. It's just some coffee stained tags, and then this one is one of the Tsunami Rose bits here, and then I just have some sewing pattern paper there. I thought that was kind of befitting because he is doing kind of like alterations. Washi tape, and then I did do some stamping in the book as well. A little writing space there. Some more stamping, and this is a vintage calling card. This one is for Fanny L. Dello. I also decided to make a little bit of sort of leather-like skin type textured paper. So that's what you're seeing here. I wanted it to sort of symbolize like maybe some rough skin that he might be doing some studies on. And then I just stitched inside of this with some thread, and then I colored it up with a black marker to make it black or brownish because I didn't have that color thread. And then it's just a little pocket with some more medical information. I did get a lot of medical stuff in this book from Shaina, so thank you for that, Shaina. Another tuck spot here. and this book smells amazing. This is like a science paper, and it's dealing with like lasers and light, and I thought that he might need to know some things about that. This is from my stash. I did do some little random bits of stitching here and there to sort of just, you know, remind you, you know, he is going to be piecing together Frankenstein's monster. Some more stamps here. Some old book pages. These are scans of a little medical notebook that I have that someone actually took notes in, and so these are someone's actual medical notes. So I put those in here, and then I just made this little file folder, and then I turned that into a little tuck spot with some more medical information, and then I left space over here so you can make notations, and then more blood. This one is talking about injury and repair to fingernails, which is something I feel like he might need to know. Some of that crazy stitching. More stamping. And this is a Tsunami Rose piece here as well. It's like a big journaling card, and then just some coffee stained paper behind. Another coffee tag here, but it's a Hermelinda tag. Little tuck spot with a little writing note in there. And then this is the beginning of the second signature. I put a lot of blood on this page in particular because I feel like maybe he references this a lot because he's dealing with like endocrine glands and things like that. Maybe he might have wanted to research this information, so I put that in there. It just folds up. And then back here is another Tsunami Rose piece, and she's anatomical, so added her end. And then I've just got this piece in here about leg veins and such. There is Tim Holtz vellum in here. Another piece from my stash. It was someone's newspaper clipping. And then more medical pages. The highlighting was already there, so I just left it. It's a brain stamp that I have. More stitching here. I did two kinds of stitching there. Another first aid records. That's from my stash as well. Another Hermelinda tag. So as you can see, there's a little vertebrae stamp that I have in my collection, and I love this. This is the coffee staining is not even picking up as beautiful as it is on the camera, but it's just a really big anatomy page, and this is in Spanish, I believe. It was from a Spanish encyclopedia. So, but this page is beautiful. So it's a center of the book actually, and the center of the second signature. So that's that. Some more skin here that I also stitched, and another medical definition tag. Oh, I put some stuff on the back. Big flip out here. There's another one of these 1800s letters, and this one I actually kind of just tore it up a little bit. Maybe this one was a little older, and so it's a little bit more rustic. There's a total of 3 of those in the book. They're all different. Here's the vintage calling card. This one says Lizzie P. York, and I thought that was pretty neat because it's a really old calling card, but also because Elizabeth was one of the characters Frankenstein. So another medical page here. The writing that's there was already there. So on this one, it has a little, a funny notation, I thought, that says hanging if limp, anti-resp, if stiff, call police. And I thought that was pretty funny that he had to make a note, he or she made a note that if someone's stiff, you should probably call the police. And then the one behind it is blank. Some more medical ephemera there, and then a little toe tag. there's another tag talking about extension and flexing. So how can he get his monster to actually become mobile? And then another one of those grunged up file folders. And that's the end of the second signature. So on to the third. We have another piece of ephemera from my stash. Some more medical pages there. A little pull out for more writing. Tim Holtz there. Some more beakers. Skull anatomy. It's a vintage, it's a medical definition tag, and then here's another tag. I just did some collaging on this one, and then I have tucked in 2 black tags and then this little tag with the chemistry and the little bug. So those go in here. This is a little vintage piece talking about fractures. So I thought that he would definitely probably need to know about different types of fractures. So another coffee stain tag. This one is all about generations of hybrids and DNA and things like that. So I just stuck that actually down onto the page. I sewed it. Center of the signature. Some more ephemera from that little medical notebook that I have. And that medical notebook, I believe it's from the 30s, 1930s. Early 30s, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so, and then there's some more medical pieces here. Another medical definition tucked into this leather skin stuff that I made. Some eyes that I have there. This is another piece from that person's notebook, a clipping that they had saved. The bats I put in here is a little nod to Dracula. So this is how, the evolution becomes. And then I have another tag here that's, oh, this is a big flip out also. I have another tag here that this one is talking about hair follicles, and I found this like black wool that I have. And it sort of looks like hair, so these might be his hair samples for when he gets his monster ready for their hairdo, I guess. And then here's the third of the 1800s letter. This one is from 1839. This book smells amazing, by the way, I should just say. Some more medical page. This one is about the foot, and it's got 2 little tags in it. And then a large piece about the leg, and then I just left little note spaces here, so maybe Frankenstein can take a few notes here and there. And there's my stamp. And the back of the cover just matches basically the front with the fabric. So that's it. This is Frankenstein. I love this book so much. It's a fun time to flip through. I know it's probably going to be even more fun to start writing in it and doing, whatever you want to do with it. But I loved making this one. It took me a little while to make it because I had to get my mind into this headspace. So, but I was able to get it done, and I absolutely love the way that it turned out. It's beautiful. So, that's going to wrap it up for me. Be sure to stay tuned because you never know what direction this odd flock of ours is heading into. And until next time, toodaloo.